Yep.
You're gonna flip to the right.
Do you care? Which
Yeah,
way?
it's probably, it doesn't matter.
Okay, because I can flip left if that's easier for you.
No, probably.
Okay. Alright, ready? First off is the rollback date. A. Roberts will not overrule measures President Down Gearhart 6. Roberts accepts judicial systems and inconsistent with the Roberts view, not the rule settled law. Roberts made a vote to look at this philosophy, judicial modesty, grounded respect for what came before Presidents not only set about examples, equalizing plan to decide case increments, which necessarily means that a good deal of experience to be left intact. B. The plan removes the stop on conservative activism and open the door for return to the Lochner era. 4 to 5. Our common law is based on the star decides Roberts 6 was words of words which provide company fact that Roberts 6 will signal to overturning key precedent likely to large scale upheaval. Roberts seals to overturn precedent. A critically concerned is return to the Lochner era. Supporters works should be fearful of returning Lochner. Don't think it couldn't happen. C. This would collapse progressive legislation. Rose and 5. Democrats are concerned about whether to vote to reverse 5 more decisions involving abortion and affirmative action. School term Roberts votes in the case of dependence started that Roberts plays the judicial utility. President plays an important role. Roberts appears to care about the institutional legitimacy. Then Thomas reported to the book for overturn any precedent which he disagrees. D. The arbitrary court results in a host of conservative rollbacks. Needs 5. If the position taken by Thomas Lee become a majority position, the court people lose the right to make medical decisions. The government's control and body government religion be one of the same. Affirmative action be forbidden at state schools. Bedrooms be fair for government intrusion. Civil rights and liberties would be ratcheted down to the constitutional minimum. One would have to pay taxes to fund public education, which are only for men. Courts no longer fight school segregation. Both from every racial minority country matter less. The government allowed blatant exclusion of African Americans from majority state laws. Won't protect patients of Asian mode declines to pay for needed medical care. Next off is the critique. The plan causes assimilation. Integration is an attempt to remove the blackness from black students by bringing them into white society. How it want. School immigration policies accept the assimilation model, focusing on fixing black children bus white schools, and white children barely bus black schools. Students suggest there's something wrong with black children that's alleviated by placing the company of white children. This is not results from DB. Urban schools provide less than satisfactory education because the students are black while urban schools provide great opportunities. Goal becomes removing the blackness from black students, so the policymakers may attempt to exclude people. Desegregation of position methods to become intertwined in their legal reasoning. Students bus from urban areas come to see their communities and inferior to urban students develop a narrow view for the world, running and understanding the experience other than their own. And assimilation causes cultural genocide. Neighborhood schools are key to black social power. Muley 2K. Through the neighborhood school system, African American communities control schools and their communities teach their own race, teach children can learn the values held by African American communities as well as African American history and culture. African American schools be eliminated and efforts to integrate with any African children. White schools children be indoctrinated into white culture. Integration results in cultural genocide. If these neighborhood schools are closed, this contributes to a greater loss of social power. Next off is the counterplan. The United States Congress should provide funding for all school districts in the United States and all schools with $15,000 per student per year indexed upward according to inflation. The local cost of living. The United States Congress provide additional funding to pay for infrastructure repair, special education, and English as a second language. The United States Congress should also provide funding to renovate low-income housing. The United States Congress should finance additional expenditures through taxes on the highest income brackets. Congress should justify the additional expenditures on 14th Amendment grounds. And the counterplan revitalizes urban cities and schools, breaking down racist myths and leading to voluntary integration. Bryant 1. Rehabilitating existing inner-city units assists lower-income residents. Gentrification not being a problem. It improves schools, contribute to upward child neighborhood development. Business become attracted by higher quality education. Greater sense of community empowerment should follow urban isolations, motivated racial stereotypes. Will face positive examples of successful minority communities. They may erode racism and lead to integration. Advantage 2. One, citizenship, even when radical, enhances conservative government. Vincent 6. As the bureaucracies of the states failed to learn how the authors failed to Jeffersonian agreement promote the radicalization of civil public health or seductive political agency might consider how profoundly sexual conservative she is the power of stealing notions like citizenship, clothing, rhetoric, feel how appropriate, but has left the social become provoked to a counter rally, no different electricity around rights in the public sphere, should register a constitutional consideration. Conservative media spin machines have hijacked precisely those bourgeois bachelor producer democracy, Rosa Salsa. The means for a moment might be impeding the recognition of how thoroughly concerned outside government advocacy concerned about public will saturation sites resistance protests have been championed by Bush and the military, and since the state's reflexivity, the repressive policy enables opposition only in order to moderate it. 2. The citizenship approach requires denial of personhood in practice, even if it ought to be applied universally. Bosniak 2. Equal citizenship principle understood to mean the existence of core rights and undocumented. Many of the third of actuality portion were 100% equal citizenship. Members often willing to vote for their formal entitlements for fear of coming to attention the results of that law. Citizenship required by everyone also demands the exclusion of territorial because non-natural with the effect of the inclusive force of the principle equal citizenship compromise. The idea of citizenship presupposes abandoned natural communities, a community characterized by exclusionary commitments that will inevitably clash with the pure personhood rights approach. 3. Citizenship is intimately connected to a radical nationalism, expanding the imperialism of liberal democracy. Diwali 96. Valorala was nationalism and permanent condition racism produced because the boundaries of the nation are constructed based to rights and groups and nationalized matter. This reflects a concern with identifying others and demonstrates construction of nationalism. The notion of citizenship highlights the conceptual Eurocentrism of the category of citizen because this category of privileges requires evidence of assimilation to Europe standards. The type of national social construction makes it possible the expression of pre-existing unity seen as the state of races produced by liberal democratic nation state have dramatic diversity must get linked to equality, choice, and other liberal ideas. We will all discuss the erasure and formation of freedom U.S. citizens for essentially consolidation, ongoing construction of Western state power structure, liberation, and nationalist terms for us to reconstitute its cultural superiority. Advantage 1. One, their biopolitics framework meant any comparative assessment if possible to use those local decisions if we can't see the intuitive difference between Nazism and the status quo in Cell 4. The problem with the proposed approach to the sliding work done by the inertia of the power operates everywhere there's a movement which is having the power to oppress violence, the possibility to discern, but it's local prior to the observations. If we insist that every human action is violent or oppressive, then we have to start inventing new concepts to capture the need to make every moral contrast where we if it's distinct to the violence carried out by Occupant that carried out by the Nazi regime. 2, tracking, plan to recreate segregation inside schools, nullifying any benefits. Bell 4. Tracking internalizes segregation, nullifying the benefits of integration of white schools is found grossly overclassified black people, special education groups, needed by ability research at the same time. Desegregation, gaining momentum, tracks these black students, they are intellectually inferior, must occupy the lowest rung in the social hierarchy. 3, unitary status. The 4, find schools as unitary after the plan, nullifying and leading to resegregation. Powell on the court has a force to relinquish control of desegregation once history obtaining unitary status, even desegregation have been successful early and to enforce plans that resulted in rapid resegregation. 4, participatory democracy. Milton revitalizes democracy through local control. This is more important for civil rights than legal reform. Brown, Nagin, 2K, Milton may advance participatory democracy. These cases endorse participatory democracy or community control and education by competence participatory democracy based on the rights revolution initiated by disenfranchised whether a federal court, social change works on the civil rights movement is generated from the bottom up rather than initiated by the government. 5, safety valve. Legal solutions are possible. They only prevent true social change. Ogletree. 4, why do the courts go along with integration by minorities that have power to serve true for the rest of us have power only relative to African Americans? The relative power African Americans serves to mass disenfranchisement with the majority white belts against racism, not some byproducts that they can be undermined, sustain effort to eradicate racism and endemic. A structural future of democracy. Black people will never gain full equality, even after we get successful produce short-lived victories and interest conversions works as a safety valve for short-term gains for African Americans while doing so furthers the goals of the white elite. Has important consequences for convincing the minority population social change is possible. This is a check on widespread disaffection that might end a revolution. 6, desegregation reinforces racism, portrays minorities as deficient students invading white social spaces. Brown, Nagin. 5, educational and litigation tend to reinforce racial stratification, education, litigation to find educational quality not truly consistent with the anti-caste principle, but social integration of resources. Even when the court is favorable rules, litigation not produce unfavorable results. Swan precipitated a wide-ranging backlash as school desegregation litigation. Generally, state elections of the answer white majorities were less than enthusiastic about complying with court orders. Litigation resulting on sent a message that black and Hispanic communities are not important actions in political communities. Supreme Court justified Brown terms that reinforce the public imagination of the whole action racial inequality rather than material political aspects. State social decisions when your students of color seeking legal redressment is deficient, self-defense seeking to invade white social spaces. Negative message saturates the culture of minority communities. Disenchantment with integration is a response to the signal. 7, incrementalism. School desegregation only assuages white guilt, preventing true integration. Acts 99, resegregation reform of tracking school employment decisions persist even within desegregated schools. Teaching orientation are often a one-way filtration of African students. Their white culture school desegregation has been ability to rid itself of psychological guilt. Desegregation has been the great trade-off for societal integration. 8, movements. Court action trades off the social movements, killing the ability to set agendas for cause change. Brown, Nagin. 5, social movements are laws or fundamental changes to social movements to find themselves. The courts risk undermining their insurgent role in the political process, losing their agenda-setting ability. 9, black teachers plan cause them to lose their job, eliminating key role models. F2, desegregation was achieved largely by closing black schools and busing students to white schools. The result in many black teacher administrations losing their jobs as well for and many African American children's loss of important social research. African American teachers often represent a surrogate parent figure, counselors, possible role models, and advocates. 10, HBCUs focus on integrated schooling undermines historically black colleges, which are key to black education. Ogletree. 4, focus on integrated schooling so undermine HBCUs not only empowered or Morehouse is found driving the centrality of HBCUs black education can scarcely be overstated. 30% of blacks who hold doctorates earn them from black colleges. 11, the contact hypothesis is false. Idle. 3, based on research using contact hypothesis studies of school desegregation found that under conditions racial inequality desegregation may exacerbate rather than reduce intergroup hostility and conflict. Our analysis found the lower levels of school desegregation are found to correspond to higher levels of violent crime, and they can't break down racism. Even proponents acknowledge they're too optimistic. Too many of those about desegregation now pessimistic. Clark, the psychologist who dealt has to help influence the Supreme Court conclude 93 deals will never rid itself of racism. I shudder how naively our belief that steady progress racial minorities make through litigation and education, and courts are too slow. The plan will take 2 decades to enforce. Revel and Hughes, 97, the lack of meaningful desegregation. The fact that many litigations are still on the docket 2 decades after they're initiated indicates the court's remedial efforts have not been successful, and private school flight white families will leave public schools after the plan pays for. In every instance, the proportion of white individuals residing in the city exceeded sub-district more than 100% of the proportion of students attending public schools. White families avail themselves of private school options at a rate greatly exceeds their non-white party parents. Private schools contributing to racial isolation at many points. Desegregation is a contributing factor, and status quo transfer requirements. Solves Lewis and Taylor 5 NCAA established the right for children to transfer to better performing schools, since many local performing schools have poverty, racial isolation, many students eligible to transfer will be children of color. And also their evidence assumes spillover. They have no scenario for spillover to solving international wars and violence. Even if we desegregate in the United States, that won't solve all racism, which is what their impact evidence assumes. I backed it over. Well, actually, yeah.
Plan is being run.
Well, not that. The counter plan, dispositional, okay? Dispositional.
Pick it, let's be straight, turn it. All right. Is the criticism net benefit?
Yep.
So pretty much
The alternative to the criticism is the counterplan.
okay, everything's in
But although the status quo also links less than your plan, so like if we pick the counterplan, it's conceivable we could also go over the.
all the case are in that benefits as well.
I mean, there's some like defensive arguments, like you don't solve all racism.
Okay, how
But-
about the counterplan's function? Does this have to be signed by the president? Like, I really don't understand.
What do you mean? I mean, it's like it goes through Congress. Yeah, like yes, the
Okay.
president would have to.
So you
sign
do
it.
a lot of things. You
Unless
increase,
like you vetoed it, and then they could override. I mean, if you read evidence that the president
if
will
he
veto, there should
vetoes,
be,
they
like-
can override. Okay.
Sure.
You claim that it would increase. You would increase 15,000 per student and increase
To that level.
All right, and you would also provide additional funding to pay for infrastructure repairs, special education,
Mhm.
second language. And then it gets interesting. You say that you'll also provide funding to renovate low-income housing.
Mhm.
What does that include?
What do you mean? Like they're housing classified by the government as low income.
Okay.
I mean, the government has like a poverty level.
So
poverty
you're gonna
line
like
they could
improve
determine.
upon the projects, or what? I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, our Bryan evidence describes how this would revitalize urban areas and lead to voluntary integration.
Your Bryan evidence says it leads to voluntary integration. Like, I don't understand why the projects.
Well, it's not just the projects; it's different types of low income housing.
Like, what does he mean when he says rehabilitation of the inner city? Like, what is this Mount Laurel system he keeps referencing?
Well, that was a New Jersey example of how New Jersey implemented a system where they provided resources to basically renovate housing and provided resources for housing integration, and how,
Okay.
that was an example of a
Right.
successful
And you also
program.
said that the Congress should finance additional expenditure through taxes on the highest income brackets.
Mhm.
What would that include?
I think it says brackets, not brackets.
No, it says plural brackets.
Oh, okay, cool.
What would the highest brackets include? Like, just
Like the top two brackets.
top 2%? All right.
Top two
so-
brackets. That's not 2%.
So counterplan functionally reverses the tax break then? I mean,
Well, I mean, it might not be that much, or it might be more depending on the amount necessary to finance the counterplan.
okay, and you read this red part about Congress justifying on 14th Amendment grounds?
Yep.
All right. I understand the goal of that, but how exactly does that access the 14th Amendment advantage?
Because it indicates that the 14th Amendment includes an enormous right to education, which is far larger than the right to education enshrined in your plan.
All right. Let's talk about the rollback to said. You claim will lead to a return of the Lochner era,
Mhm.
which was all about like anti-progressive politics in
Yep.
terms of piling on and letting people work 60 hours a week.
Well, it totally devastated workers' rights.
Okay.
It was basically like the court was.
Why would a
committed to-
desegregation overturn lead to a return to the Lochner era?
Because our evidence indicates that the only stop on Roberts basically rolling back precedents and returning to Lochner era is.
But your evidence like references Roe v. Wade as the